For our immersive events project, we decided to take the characters and themes in this play and to place them into a completely different setting. Our video takes place in a wizardry world created by the brilliant J.K. Rowling. While it might be difficult to recognize that this still is a Shakespeare's play, look for the parallels in the theme of the story and you may find that some of the storylines have been slightly altered. But pay more attention to what you get out of the story rather than from the exact details. We focused our project on the Bond story, so pay attention to the prejudice shown towards Shylock for something that he cannot control. And to this caused him to become bitter and to crave revenge. Ask yourselves, who is the real bad guy in this story? Our project should demonstrate that while Shakespeare's plays might seem outdated, many of the ideas behind his works are universal.
What do I have the pleasure?
Well, you see, as it turns out, I required of your services.
You see, Bassanio here, he needs 3,000 galleons. And I'm sure you're aware that Ollivander's has closed down due to the Death Eaters. And I've opened up my own one shop, and obviously it's successful. So I know that I can pay you back your 3,000 galleons, Shylock.
Of course. But, you know, I'm not typically one to hand out favours to my enemies.
Sure.
You! Shylock, you filthy mudblood! Billy on it!
Still a buy!
Is it good enough for you? I wouldn't think that you'd be eager to take money out of the hands of a dirty mudblood such as myself.
Ah, Shylock. Why must you feed on old grudges? We were just boys back then.
You know, the economy is not very stable these days either.
Shylock, please.
Please, I wish to marry an old witch. I can't do it without your help.
Perhaps I could propose a deal.
Anything.
3,000 galleons, and you get 3 months to pay it back. But if, under certain circumstances, you come to find this impossible, a pound of your flesh. That is my price.
There's no other choice, Bassanio. There's no other choice. I will make the deal.
Make the unbreakable vow. It's just empty words. Coward.
Take out your wand.
Will you, Shylock, lend Antonio the 3,000 galleons he desires?
I will.
And will you give him 3 months to come up with the proper payment?
I will.
Will you, Antonio, pay Shylock back at the end of 3 months? With either the money you make from your shop, or a pound of your flesh?
I will.
No! They dare touch my stuff!
doors! Those stupid Death Eaters, they will pay!
Look into my eyes. Forget about my family and who I was born to. Mudbloods have eyes, do we not? What about hands, senses, organs, passions? Don't we have those things in common? What if you pulled out your wand and said Sectum Semper? I would bleed, would I not? Don't you think you would hear my screams if you crucioed me? And what about if you used the killing curse? Don't you think you would see the light leave my eyes and I would hit the ground hard and cold? We're the same, you and me. If you can hate, then so can I. That pound of flesh is mine. I'm not going back on my deal.
Just wait, Sherlock. Have mercy.
3 months. That was the deal. Skin is removed.
Potato!
Who do you think you are to try
Get
and
off of me.
stop?
Keep your filthy hands off her!
No, it's too late. We made the vow. We can't go back now.
Listen to your friend before you get yourself into trouble.
Fine, take him, because it's only fair, right? That was the vow the vow created out of your hatred of prejudice. You gave him 3,000 galleons out of the kindness of your heart, which Antonio agreed to. Despite the fact that you've never been good friends, he agreed to it. You never made him to. But pay very close attention to the wording of your vows.
1.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing important, surely.
Your friend here, what is she saying?
Well, just a minor detail, really. You can have your pound of flesh, but...
The vow doesn't entitle you to any blood.
So?
So, take your pound of flesh, but be careful not to spill a single blood. If you spill blood, then the vow would be broken. And, Nerissa, what happens if you break the unbreakable vow?
Well, if I remember correctly, you die.
Yes, I'm aware of the consequences. I'll take the money instead.
The ministry would agree against this little deal. This actually counts as conspiring against one of our fellow wizards.
So what do you propose I do?
Half of your fortune towards Antonio, the other half towards the ministry.
No, just let him keep his fortune. Just as long as he promises not to disgrace us with his ugly face again. The ugly mudblood.